It's happened to you, right? You're at work. You're staring at a blank screen, a blank paper, something blank. And all of a sudden, your mind mirrors that. You can't think of what to write, how to say what you want to say. You can't think about how to express yourself. Well, that's the topic of today's Out of the Box episode. Welcome back to Out of the Box, the series where unconventional thinking leads to extraordinary living. I'm your host, Elizabeth Miner. And whether you're a writer or a painter or a creative of any type, we've all sat in front of that blank page. And all of a sudden, we all suffer from writer's block. Now, you could be a business person, you could be an artist, you could be a creator, or you could be somebody who's an engineer. But all of a sudden, it just wipes out your whole mind and you have writer's block, right? You don't know how to get out what you have in your head that's this jumbled picture. And you just can't all of a sudden think of what to say, what to write, how to start, where to begin. Well, we refer to that commonly as writer's block. Now, one of the prolific writers of our time, Neil Strauss, calls that a joke. He says there is no such thing as writer's block. And now, I am in the process of writing my second book, and I can tell you that I have faced the blank page, and it feels like writer's block to me. So why could he really say that? And is he just some amazing writing superhero where he just never seems to have the affliction that most of us find themselves at from time to time? And how Neil Strauss explains it is that it's not a block of ideas. What it really is it is a perfection syndrome at its finest. It is performance anxiety that really we're experiencing. So great. Whether it's writer's block or performance anxiety, does it really matter? And if we can't move, does it really matter what we call it? Well, here's where it releases for us, is once we understand that it's not that we don't have ideas, it's not that we don't have something good and worthwhile to communicate, it's that we're putting so much pressure on ourselves to get it right. We are putting so much energy on making these first words the New York Times best-selling entry phrase. We are spending all this time, all this energy, putting pressure on ourselves to make this first words, these first draft, this first what have you, this first edition, be our best. And here's where we can release that, is if we just start. Yeah, you heard me. Just start. And let it be crappy. We call it the shitty first draft for a reason, because it may not ever see the light of day, but what it does do is it starts to dislodge the thinking. It starts to get you something to edit. I used to tell people I worked with as a paralegal, if you draft something, I will edit it, but I would rather not do the first draft. That's why so much work was form-based, because you start off with the form and you figure out what doesn't fit, you take that out, and you put in what does fit, and then you have the bones, what does fit, and then you have a final copy. Boom. It's so much easier. So here is the solution to writer's block. Whether it's for work, whether it's painting, whether it's creating of any kind, just start. That's it. No secret. Just start. And go back. Give yourself permission for the first draft not to be epic. And you might find some epic stuff comes out, but if you give yourself permission not to be perfect, but to get started, it then allows the ideas, the thoughts, the brilliance to begin to flow. So that's what I have for you this week. To get going, to get started, and allow things to come out, and then to go back in and polish and buff and make it beautiful after. But get started, and don't worry about the first draft being the Pulitzer Prize winning prose. If you know somebody that could use this exact message, please do forward this along to them, and make sure you hit the little thumbs up button and subscribe. That allows more people to get a chance to listen to some of this. I'll be back next week with more unconventional thinking for your extraordinary living. And until then, keep going after that extraordinary life that you so deserve. I'll be back next week. Ciao. And, I am going to go through and do some editing here. So just don't worry about it.